So, you're interested in getting your own home arcade, but you don't want to get a full size arcade. And you've seen these things in your stores, online, and whatever else. You want to know what the differences are and what you should choose. Well, let me help you out. What's going on, ladies and gents? Your boy MikeOfAllTrades. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not, and turn on those notifications as we make our way to 5K. But before we do all that, let's talk about what we're here for. Now, you guys see them behind me, next to me, these three-quarter scale and smaller versions of arcade machines that you probably knew growing up and interacted with and had fun with, whether it be with Pac-Man or Street Fighter or, hell, even Contra. There are lots of arcade games that have been played in the past by a lot of us. And hell, even to this point in time today, if you go to a local place like a round one or an up down or things of that nature, you'll see plenty of arcade games, the evolution of Cruising USA like Cruising Blast, or newer games like Tomb Raider that can be played in the arcade format. And there are companies now that sell small home versions of arcades because buying a full arcade machine is it's kind of a hassle if you don't have the time or the patience to deal with it, right? And the leading three companies, in no particular order, are iiRcade, AtGames, and Arcade 1Up. But what's the differences between the three? What does one offer that another doesn't? Well, let's talk about it. So let's start with AtGames. AtGames is essentially a multicade. Currently, right now, they are bringing out in the summer of 2023 for pre-order the AtGames Legends Ultimate 4KP. No idea what the P stands for, but but currently, right now, you can get an ALU, an AtGames Legend Ultimate, that thing back there. You can get it for about $350 from Sam's Club here in the States. Again, 300 games that are built in, and it's essentially a multi-cade. There's lots of add-ons. You can get like the Bit Pixel LED, the Quad Play, the Bit LED, things of that nature. But let's be real. No one buys it to play the games that are on board. People buy it to add the sauce and use CoinOps X. CoinOps X is something that takes this machine from being great to being amazing. The community out there has built a beautiful build. There are many builds that have been built where some builds even let you play PlayStation 1 games on them. And that's the strong suit for the AtGames. It takes about 15 minutes to assemble. It comes in really two pieces. There's the top and then the bottom. You snap it together, you put the deck on, and boom, you're in there. It's got spinner games, it's got trackball games, and it's got stick games. Some twin stick games as well, Games like Wreck-It Ralph. I say Wreck-It Ralph. Fix-It Felix from the Wreck-It Ralph movie. There's Star Wars on there. There's console games like Aladdin. It's a diverse cornucopia of games. The sticks and buttons are actually pretty decent for what's included in the package. If it's something that you're thinking about, you're looking for one multicade, and you're looking for just one, maybe check out the AtGames. It's got a 24-inch screen in it, I believe. It's pretty big. It's almost full size. Almost, but it's technically within the three-quarter scale. And then you can add DLC to it if you want to. You can add pinball tables, and you play pinball on it. The Kodi app works, so do what you want with that. And I know that sounds really funny, but a lot of people actually do use the Kodi app on the AtGames Legends Ultimate. Second on the list is a startup company called iiRcade. iiRcade's been in the game for a couple years now, and it's essentially an arcade console. So there's two versions of it. There's the regular iiRcade and the iiRcade Gold. It has its own marketplace, so you can actually go and you can buy games. They actually give away free games as well. Saturn, one of the latest games that they give away for free, is actually really freaking good. And then there's some bangers on there that, a lot of people fall in love with, like Donut Dodo and, Breaker's Revenge, things of that nature. They all come pre-installed with 11 games, and if you get a marquee cabinet with a game, whether it be Dead Cells or Space Invaders or something of that nature, you also get that game for free. It's got Sanwa Clove buttons, except in the iiRcade Golds. Those actually have premium Sanwa buttons, so real Sanwa buttons. 19-inch screen. It's got a booming sound system. The jukebox is nice. It's got an track mode. the UI is something to be desired, and you can't access the store on the actual arcade itself. You have to download an app, which you need to go in the settings for and scan the QR code for. Believe me, that was a hassle and a half. Shout out to Welcome to Die for even pointing that out. But it has an active community, and there's always a release. Some of the games are online. Riptide's 8 players. Like it legally, like literally shows you what games are online, what you can play, and currently, as of recording this video, the online is free. But just like in wrestling, cards subject to change, right? But it also comes like separate. So you assemble the bar top, and then it has a stool. So if you don't want to have it on a stool, you can put it on your desk, put it on a bar top, and literally you can have fun with it. It does have HDMI out, so if you ever want to try to capture some gameplay or output it to another TV so people can see what you're doing, whether it be score chasing or things of that nature, you can do that. And there's a passionate community that are firmly standing behind the product, and you get a lot of hands-on contact with Zhang and Michael, who work for AtGames, for iiRcade. So if it's interesting, check it out. Also, it's been featured on The Price is Right, so there's that. Last but not least, let's talk about Arcade 1-Up. Now, Arcade 1-Up, they sell products that are dedicated cabinets for certain titles, whether it be Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, NFL Blitz, Golden Tee. A lot of marquee titles from the 90s, the 80s, and early 2000s. They're pretty much that. And their goal is really to simulate the arcade experience. They want to simulate you bought a game, you bought a cabinet, this is what it's for. So for instance, if you bought Pac-Man right now, your marquee game is Pac-Man, they'll have other games on it. There's different models, there's different sizes, you've got 3/4 scales, you've got XLs, you have one cabinet, which is a Pro Series Pro, which, let's be real, a lot of people aren't happy with. And then you have the new deluxe line coming out, which are riserless. Now, for those who don't know what a riser is like a booster seat for your arcade cabinet. I know, that sounds funny, right? I said booster seat, so might not be something that you're interested in, right? But it does increase the height of your cabinet. The deluxe models that are coming out don't have risers. The height is actually built in. And they're also coming out with casino cades, And if you're into shooters, you can get a Big Buck Hunter, or you can get a Terminator 2, and there's literally something for everybody. Cocktail tables, partycades, which are wall-mounted arcades that you can literally hang off of a door or something to sneak it in, and, collector cades. Like, their line, out of all the three, is the most diverse. And it's just diversity. The controls, they're pretty mid. Like, literally, the sticks are good, the buttons are trash, but it's the price point that'll let you get in the door. And out of the three of them, these are the ones that you usually find on sale. Usually find a deal for. Usually $2.99, $3.99 if you look on Amazon or Best Buy, Target, Walmart, or their own website. These are usually the ones that you find deal at, but they have a lot more of the popular titles that people are looking for. The only problem with that is you can't add titles to the cabinet legally. So if you buy Marvel vs. Capcom 2, you're literally stuck with the 8 games that come with it. If you buy the Street Fighter Legacy or the Capcom Legacy, Yoga Flame or Shinku Hadoken, you're stuck with the 14 games that come with it, so forth and so forth. Some of the games do have online connectivity, do have online play. Some of them have online leaderboards. Again, it's a melting pot of what you want to get involved with. But those are the major three. There are other companies that are out there trying to kickstart things and do things of that nature. But as of right now, these are the companies that are putting you out. So my recommendations, if you're looking for a multi-cade experience, if you're looking for something that you can just buy one of and then make additions and add on to it, I'm going to recommend the AtGames Legends Ultimate. We call it, she's ugly. She's the girl you take home from the club and you put a bag over her head and do whatever. But you can make that girl pretty. You can give her implants and install extra things to make her be just what you want her to be. She's easily accessible. There's a community who's always out there working on the sauce. And there's lots of tutorials that will help you make her be what you want to be. And honestly, make it probably the only cabinet that you need to buy if you're not interested in online play. If you're interested in online play and you're after the big marquee titles, your Street Fighters, your Mortal Kombats, NFL Blitz online, it's passable. It's not the greatest right now. But if you're in NBA Jam, if you're interested in competing on that and online matters to you, then you want to go with the Arcade 1-Up. But again, remember that each cabinet is dedicated with only certain titles on it. So you might not have the ability to get all the games on one cabinet, which then could lead to you collecting a bunch of cabinets. And we know people don't do that, right? Right? And if you're looking for a cabinet that you can put down, you can put in your room and have as a nice addition to your collection, have as a nice starting entry point to where you can buy more games on an ecosystem, then iiRcade's for you. iiRcade is constantly getting new games, they're getting old games, they're starting to find their stride, and it's relatively cheap. Not in build quality, it's probably the best build quality out of all three of the cabinets. But, price point, it's probably the cheapest to get in the door with, while it not being on sale. And with 2 different options, a passionate community, new games being developed on a regular basis, that might be the arcade console for you. Built-in 11 games, most of them have online, Dragon's Lair, Double Dragon, things of that nature. You might want to try an arcade. But at the end of the day, it's all about what's going to make you smile, what's going to make you happy. So, those are just my thoughts, my opinions. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that like button and let me know, hey, do you own any of these? Were you thinking about buying one of these? Did one of these just catch your attention? Let me know in the comments below. I'm MikeOfAllTrades. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later.